What's going on, guys? We're back at it again with episode 15, season 2 of the franchise for these San Francisco Giants. Coming off a pretty good opening day. We do want to see what we can do on the second day. Logan Webb versus Austin Gomber. But first, we will take a look at the opening day for our minor leaguers as our ace of the future that we're hoping for in Will Bednar will go up against the aces, and let's see what we can do against those guys as we do get ready for some action. Going up against Dre Jameson, and we're hoping for some big things hitting wise as well. But let's take a look into the action as the season starts off a little shaky. Solo shot on the very first pitcher he faces. That's gotta be the worst start you can possibly have, as we also get through the first 1-0. He does give up another single, a walk, but does get out of the inning pretty good for Bednar, as Jameson is flying straight through us in the first couple innings, not giving up any hits at all. Another walk by Bednar, as he is giving up hits, walks, and a homer already so far in the first 3 innings of minor league play. Heliot Ramos does ground into a double play after we do get our first hit, getting us into the 4th inning. Bednar does do well to strike out a couple. Gives up a couple singles, but does get us out, as Jameson does give another hit, a double to Pablo Juan Martinez. Are we able to get him in, get him home? Guzman does get a walk, and Hunter does get him home to tie the game up 1-1 in the bottom of the 4th. 2 outs left. Let's see what me can do, and he does get a ground out to end the inning. Bednar has a pretty smooth top of the 5th to get us straight to the bottom of the 5th. And let's see if we can repeat what we did in the 4th. We do get a walk. Heliot's on after the fielder's choice. We do get a stolen base from Heliot, so on second base now. See if we can bring him in to get a walk. Colton Welker up, and he does ground out. So Bednar back at it again in the 6th, as he has recovered really well from that home run he did give up in the very first at bat at that. Another single, and I think it is time to get my man out of there, as that was a pretty good start. 5 2/3, well, 5 1/3 innings, giving up only that run, but his stamina did go down. We do bring Waits in, and he does get the bases loaded and gives up 2 runs to get it to 3-1. Got to get him out of there as quick as possible after he gave up pretty much nothing but bases as he got on. So Cruz does shut it out, as Ortega does hit a solo shot to bring the game back to 3-2. Let's see what we can do, and we get 3 straight outs after that, leaving the score at 3-2, and we give up the solo shot right back to Canzone, as we do get out Lawler in the rest of the game to get us to the bottom of the 7th. For Diaz has shown to get on base today, and he does get his 2nd walk of the game. Patrick Bailey does get on with a walk, so it is 1 out. They bring in Parker Mushkinski, however you pronounce his name. Bases loaded after another walk and a double play to end it. You hate to see that, as we definitely had a chance to get the lead. Cruz brings on a base runner in the walk, so we do take him out to bring in Aaron Fletcher, the lefty, to go against Alec Thomas and Fisher, as he gives up 2 hits. More runs come across, as this opening day is starting to unravel for us, going array, as we do give up a couple more runs and another 3-run homer, as our relief pitching really just let us down. Bednar gave us a good 5 innings, and then after that we said, forget about it. Parker does continue to pitch in the 8th inning. Guzman gets a single, but at this point the damage is done, as we are down 10 runs. And I don't see us really coming back from that, as Parker does get the first out in the 9th, and he proceeds to shut us down, even though we do get a single and a walk. So that's a pretty rough first day for our AAA team. We're definitely hoping that we'll bounce back for the rest of the season, hoping that we can get some more clutch at bats. I do believe that bases loaded jam that we had to be able to get that lead back early in the 6th inning did cost us. But we do bring it back to some major league action, as I thought it was a pretty good time to check out I misquoted last episode and said that it was Arias' first game in the first game of the season last episode, but actually we only have him starting against lefties, so this is his real official first game in the bigs. As talked about in previous episodes, he's only getting called up because Bader is injured, but we was going to call him up in the next year or two anyways. It just kind of ruins his rookie season, unfortunately. But we do bring him up and start him against lefties in center field, as he is our best defender as far as reaction and fielding, and he has the arm, which is why we'll leave Steven Kwan in left field. We're really hoping for big things in Arias, at least to show us some shine, some flashes. Not expecting him to eat up the game like Julio Rodriguez or something at the beginning of the season, but do expect a few good at bats, some good defense, and hopefully a positive WAR in these next month or two, with Harrison Bader being injured and him and McRae sharing time in center field. Guys do see on the screen making that big league debut as we look at our top prospects. Ortega, who's also getting close to being called up, and Bednar, our pick from last year, and not Bednar, our pick, and our Duvall, our pick from last year. Rounding up the top 100 prospects, as Baker and McRae, who's already in the bigs, rounds out that top 10 along with Reckley and Sugar Stay. We're definitely looking for big things from all of them, but as of this year, especially Arias, hopefully Ortega and Duvall and a couple other guys will be looked to get called up next year. Hopefully they have a good spring training. Getting us into the game, Gomber did have a pretty tough year last year, but you are pitching in Coors, so really as a lefty, that's actually pretty solid for Coors Field. We do get some action very early on, 1-0 game in the top of the second, very first at bat with a guy on first and second, and let's see if he can show a little bit of pop in that bat to bring home a run. Pitch coming in, and the slider is way inside. Don't look at that 4th round pick selection. I believe he was someone that we picked up internationally in the free agency period last year as a young guy. Just had to put him in MLB because he wasn't created on the rosters yet. But he is one of the guys in the Giants farm system in real life that is looking to be one of those guys getting called up in real life, so we're hoping he can reiterate that same thing in this reality. We do get to a 2-0 count. Good fastball to hit, but we did hold off, and maybe we can look for a better pitch later on in the at-bat. Definitely showing some patience for a youngster that we love to see. Circle change wasn't fooling anybody. Now we're definitely looking for something to hit. Steven Kwan is up as Rayner Arias, say that 3 times, is in the bottom end of the lineup, being the last guy. The 3-1 count, definitely looking for something to pounce on. Comber with the pitch, and we swing on the inside fastball. Definitely get a good timing of it. It looks like it's going to hit the gap. Wasn't sure if it was out or not based on me messing up with the screen, but it is a bases clearing double for Arias in his very first at bat, showing the pop, showing the clutch, getting a double as his very first hit. Definitely hoping for good things on Easter. Definitely gotta love doing it on Easter Sunday. Amen, Saints. Save that game ball, or save that ball for that young man. It's going to be one heck of a career for him, and we're hoping that it's all going to be with the Giants. If you take another look at the swing, beautiful swing, showing that he can show quick hands to get inside on those fastballs. Even though it was Gomber's pitch coming at 91 miles an hour, we love to see it from a young guy. We do add another run later on, getting up to 4-0 with a guy on first. Looks like it is Luciano, as we get an outside knuckle curve way outside the zone. Not even hittable. Looks like Gomber is a little scared to pitch to Arias at this point. Oh, still throwing breaking pitches outside. Looks like he's scared of throwing that inside heat and us punishing it. But at this point, might as well go for broke, man. 4-0. Might as well throw some pitches, throw it in the zone, see if we're going to hit or miss. As we see on the bottom, school ball did have a really good outing, 12 Ks. We get another fastball, even more down the middle, but unfortunately we are under it, and it is a deep fly out to get our first out and get his first out of his career. Solid selection, good time to swing at, just got under it. Montgomery did have a pretty quick game as he is out, and Senzatella is in for the Rockies at this point. The Rockies also caught up with a 5-4 comeback as we still are only up 1 run at this point. Inside fastball, he throws a little bit faster. That heat is coming in hot, and he is late on the foul ball. Sinker inside, easy pitch to lay off, as we're definitely looking for something more middle end. He's testing us, going inside on us a couple times, and then breaking away, testing that discipline on the youngster. Does have a fastball that does get a bad call, as it should have been a ball, but we do get the unfortunate strike, leaving us with a 2-2 count. Let's see what the young rookie can do up against some bad calls from the ump. Different kind of pressure getting put on him, and that slider once again, as guys just seem to be pitching away from him except for that high heat. I don't know if they got a rookie scouting report on him or what, but after that they have seemed to figure him out a little bit. More runs come across for both teams as it is 7-5 in the top of the 8th. As Arias has shown a good pop in the first, but ever since then has cooled off. Granted, these pitchers aren't really giving him much to swing at. He is showing the patience, but just not much to hit. Not much to hit, as a good inside heater does miss, getting it to a 2-0 count. Ooh, splitter right down the middle. Was a little early on it. Can't really blame him after getting all that high heat earlier in the at-bats previously. Get a good fastball. Does get under it very late, as we're definitely looking to time something up. 2-2 count, hoping to get something over the plate. Get a fastball away a little bit early on and trying to pull it, and basically in the same spot as the out he had a couple at bats ago. It is a deep fly out. So that will pretty much do it for Arias' day, as we do get some defensive ability shown in the bottom of the 8th, but overall brought in a couple runs, showed some solid at bats. We always can count and depend on that defense. Even though we do wish he had a little more natural speed with him being in the 50s, but the rest of the defensive awareness, such as the fielding, reaction, arm strength, is all there. So we definitely look forward to the rest of the time he has in the majors, and hopefully having a good minor league season when he inevitably does get called back down once Beta returns in a month or two. A great game overall from him and our Giants, as we do get a much needed win against those Rockies to basically win the series for us, getting that second straight win in a row. Logan Webb gave up 4 runs in 5 innings, hoping for a little better from him as far as his next few outings. And Duvall does get to save. A lot of home runs. Looks like Haniger, Luciano, and Chapman all had deep flies. So definitely providing that power that we're needing. Bringing back Giants baseball. Good timely power hitting and some strong pitching, even though Webb didn't show it today. As we continue on, we do win another game 4-3 versus the Rockies, and we win the opening series game as we go 1-1 with the Dodgers, winning a close one and then also losing a close one. Couple hits from Garcia, Chapman, and Wade wasn't enough, as Arias did pitch a good solid 6 innings, but Jackson did take the loss, giving up a couple runs later on. 1-5 Rockies we go up against again. Bednar suffers a game injury, who will be out. Do fix the lineup up, and it's once again going against Gomber. We do take the loss this time 0-4, as he does have a much better outing. We lose another game to the Rockies 3-4, another close one. A lot of 3-4 games lately. And now we're getting into the early scouting, as last year we finished pretty bad, as we look at this 4-1 victory first before we do get back into scouting. Couple good hits, but mostly just very clutch pitching from Ross Stripling, giving up 7 hits but only 1 run, 3 strikeouts, so he wasn't really having his stuff, but he was getting a lot of outs. So like I was saying, 6-3 so far as the standings, number 1 in the division, but we do like to look at some prospects and see who we can find, as we do have a top 5 pick from the laws last year, as when I did do this, MLB hadn't updated the lottery, so we did just get it from our standings and our records. We definitely want to try to look at some starting pitchers, as we did see Bednar do pretty solid, but we do want to improve our farm system when it does come to pitchers and infield as well. Love homegrown guys, that's why we tend to look for Western players, but definitely looking for some infield as well, as we really have no farm system as regards to first base and second base. And shortstop still unknown, with Reckley, Luciano, and Ortega playing just okay. And even third base, we're not sure. We did trade for me last year, but so far the hitting has not shown, but the defense is still there. We look at some more prospects. Diaz is definitely somebody who stands out to us, up to 99 potential, showing that he has outrageous contact. Discipline is off the charts and looks to be a very good fielder, very complete player. So definitely one of those guys we want to take an early look at. And like I was highlighting previously, first, second, starting pitcher are definitely 3 areas we're looking to improve on. Shortstop being 29th, I'm not worried about, because we do have some young guys. And same thing with catcher, as we do have Joey Barton, Patrick Bailey in our farm system. Continue to look for the next series that we have. As y'all can see, we are ranked 19th, so definitely overperforming at this point and hoping to maintain this hot streak. After that 4-1 win, we do see that we do have a pretty even opponent in the Reds coming up after the series versus the Rockies. So we want to take an inside look at that, see how we do against this finishing game against the Rockies. We do lose 7-11, giving up way too many runs, but at least we pulled in 7. And we do, before Eloy comes back, we do get the 4-2 victory. The next game is Logan Webb going up against Hunter Green. Definitely want to see what we can do against those guys after Logan Webb's debacle of a game against the Rockies, twice against Austin Gumber, losing one and having a bad game, another win that he got. We do get a run across in the bottom of the first, giving Webb a 1-run lead, as he is trickling that ERA down. But he does give up a single to Ellie De La Cruz. Steven Steer on second, and does get the ground out to end the inning. Hunter Green's pitching the opposite of Webb at a 2-4-5 as we get to this at bat, and he does get themselves out of the second. Fraley gets a single, but we do get through the top of the third. McCray does get on with a double to start the third inning for the Giants. Sack bunt from Eloy as he was struggling, so we want to see what he can do, and we do get the sack fly from Haniger to get a 2-0 lead. I know that was a little unorthodox, but definitely wanted to get that run across as Eloy was struggling. We wanted to see if we can get something. A walk from Davis does get that run across to get 2-2 as the Reds do tie it right back up. Webb is getting through guys pretty smoothly, but his pitch count is getting pretty high as his energy bar is going low. So we get 2 singles, a hit run opportunity to get Stephen Kwan in the corners. Double play by Eloy, and Haniger does bring in the third run of the game for the Giants with the double. As like I said earlier, Webb is taking a lot of pitches to get through these batters, so we do bring DeScalafani in for a long relief opportunity. 2 singles does put them in danger of taking the lead. A pop-up from Davis, and Stevenson gets a single, loads the bases. Jake Fraley does get out. Good job, Scalafani. As Arcia does hit a solo shot deep to get the game to a 4-2 lead. Gary Sanchez is able to get a hit off Connor Phillips, as that was it for Hunter Green on the day. Another single for Stephen Kwan, 2 for 4 on the day, and then we get him out to end the inning. DeScalafani is still continuing his great long relief pitching that he's doing so far. Friel will get the walk, double play, double, and then a single from Tanner does bring in the third run for the Reds, as it is a 3-4 game for us, and I think that is DeScalafani's time. Good solid couple innings. We do bring Luke Jackson in for the strikeout to get us out of the 7th. Haniger does get another walk to get him on base, but that is it for the 7th inning for us as well. 8th comes in. Davis does get on. They do pinch run Jay Allen. A single brings a guy on, no outs, as Lou Jackson is struggling early on this season. Definitely want to bring somebody that's going to be strong against Jake Fraley. So we do bring the lefty in, and Bummer walks Fraley, which is the worst outcome. Then the double brings in 3 runs, and now we're officially down 6-4. After those 3 pitcher minimum, we definitely had to get Bummer up out of there. So we do bring in Duvall as a single comes in, but it does get the runner out, not scoring the run, leaving it 6-4. Arcia does bring a single in, having a great day, 3 for 4 on the day, 2 strikeouts, 3 strikeouts, and that's the inning. Duvall smokes through the top of the ninth, getting us to the bottom of the ninth, where Alexis Diaz does come in. Another double play by Eloy, single by Haniger, and an out from Wade does end the game, as we controlled the game all the way to the 8th inning and gave up the first run in the 7th, and then the last 3 runs in the 8th. Hate to see it. A couple games where our relief pitching is once again choking on it. We checked off. He was at this Cincinnati game, and we did lose the rest of that series. And then we did lose the next series to the Braves. We did get a win 5-4. Farr getting 2 walks and getting on 2 hits and 2 RBIs for Estrada, getting a homer. And Arias giving up 4 runs but still getting the dub. Then we lose series to Pittsburgh, putting us at 9-10. In a 4-game series, looks like at home versus the Dodgers. Kyle Harrison with a 6.61 ERA going off low. Let's see what we can do. You get the loss there, 4-6. The next is a 3-1 loss, the 3-1 win that we get from Duvall closing that one out. Good, nice tight win. Let's check the box score out on that one. 3 strikeouts from McCray, as he is hot right now, but that was a bad game so far. When he gets a homer, 2 RBIs, 2 errors from Estrada. Arias pitches fantastic. Glad to see it. That's what we signed him for. Then we get a 3-0 win. Maybe our scouting real quick. And as we do this, I was interested in this prospect, Wander Madrid. He was looking better before last week's assignment when I made it, but he does like a solid prospect. I am, however, going to go back to scouting another first baseman. Diaz is asking for a lot, but he seems like he could be the real deal. So let's see what he's hitting on. Scouting some prospects. I do want to see if we might have to get our catcher, because Patrick Bailey does look like he might develop too well. Doing just okay on the season, but we want to see if he can do better. Definitely looking for that third baseman that we could possibly play. Along with losing for a star pitcher, I actually think we're going to swap those, because we really do need a third baseman after Chapman leaves, because we don't know how long he's going to be with the team. We don't know how well he's really going to play, because right now no one has proven to be a guarantee except Arias and maybe Webb, even though Webb is pitching pretty bad on the season. So those 2 guys, the 2 pitchers, are pretty much the only guys that we know are going to be for sure guys. As we check out the 5-year progression, we only got 390s. We need some guys to develop a little more. Obviously, Luciano's not on here, so if we sign him, maybe he possibly reaches. But at least in this episode, we're going to try to get to the end of the month. Since we know the team isn't going too hot, probably not going to get to the playoffs. We lose. We did play the Dodgers pretty well, as the Dodgers probably look to bounce back.
You never know with us taking Murray off, which makes me so happy. Taking one of their star pitchers from them. But they still do have a pretty good roster with Betts and Walker Buehler probably still on there. I gotta see if he left. But they're always an interesting team. As we keep going, Batman versus Brian Strickland lost there to what looks like to be an uprising Tigers team as they are hitting above 500 with that win. Let's check out and see what Kyle Harrison could possibly do in a game. I'm hoping he can pitch a little better than what he has been. He does strike out the first side, so that is pretty good right there. Strikes out the first guy. Paul gets struck out, and we also get out with our first two guys. Here's a double, single, sac fly gets the first one of the game in. And then Haniger gets ground out, and a ground out. Harrison does have 5 strikeouts already on the game, which is pretty well. Estrada does get on. See if we can hit and run chance. Luciano does bring in the run. Paul gets on with a 1-2, and McCray does strike out. But Eliot does hit in Luciano to bring in the run and get a strikeout in the inning. But Dude does get on the double, fly out, strike out, and Harrison does get out of the inning. Very well, very well. That's what we need him to do all season. Strike out from Wade. Walk from Chapman and a double play gets the out. Walk from Baez, strike out, fly out, and a runner thrown out. He loves defense to get us out of that inning. Single for Baum gets us back on. See if he can steal, he does. And McCray is able to get him in off the stolen base to make it a 3-1 game. Another strikeout from Harrison. He definitely is getting a lot of strikeouts this game. He's pitching very well, much better than he has been his last few outings. Another strikeout. And he gets off after Baez does get the single, quickly gets out of the inning. And X-Giant and Dominic Leone does come into the game. Walks Estrada, single to Gary Sanchez. Excuse my words, man. I'm thinking of Slater. I meant Sanchez. Slater's out of there already. Let that one go. And then Luciano does bring in the run. Heck of a game for Luciano today. McCray gets on the clock to have Eloy at bases loaded, fielder's choice, and Haniger even though we're up, we do like for more consistent runs to be produced in those kind of situations. But we'll take it. We'll take it from there. Single, strikeout, and a double. That's definitely time to get Harrison out of there. As we, let's see the check. Definitely good against lefties, so let's bring Castro in, see if he gets the strikeout. He does get the ground out to get us out of there. West comes in, he does get a single, walk, ground out, see what Sanchez can do, strikes out. Luciano continues the game, and he strikes out too. Perfectly fine as he did bring in a few runs earlier, probably played the game. As Duvall gets us out of there smoothly, you know what time it is. It's Duvall time as he's bouncing back from his poor season last year. We do win 4-2. Like I said, Harrison with 13 strikeouts. The dirty does it. You love to see it. Like to see it best. Good game right there as we get that 12-13. Elliot Ramos unfortunately does go down for 2 to 3 months. Hate to see it, guys. Hate to see it. He will sorely be missed in that AAA lineup. Now it's a big gap. Bader is coming back in 2 to 3 weeks, as you guys can see. That does suck, as he was hitting really well on the season. Does kind of knock off. But it's good to see him doing well. I hope to see him back soon. So what we'll have to do is, let's see, we have in our outfield as we continue to lose a lot of people. In our recent draft pick. Let's see, I think I'll bring up to AA. Ball's hitting okay, but not good enough. And then Matheny will put up AAA, kind of be that bench guy. take a look at what the rest of our team is doing. Other than Bailey and Diaz, no one's hitting above 270, which does kind of suck, but it is alright. Bars to AA. Let's adjust this real quick. Hitting as expected so far, but Toribio is on fire, hitting 298. Walton hitting 350. A couple other guys. Rose hitting good versus lefties. And Berkeley's is hitting 200, but hopefully he will get better. Chang still struggling, hoping to see more from him. Another good team versus the Tigers. They lose 1-2. Arias loses. Solid outing though. Only giving up 2 wins. We'll take a look at both of our teams. We have Mason Black in the 11-6 AA team. He can do. Definitely his pitching carrying us, as we looked at the hitting earlier, and it is suboptimal so far. Well, let's get on with a walk and a stolen base. Ground out to Ricky up out. Gets out the inning. Mason Black does give up the solo shot to give up the lead 1-0. 3 ground outs gets them out of the inning. And a double gets Mason Black. And then a single, 3 runs, 4 runs. Gets out. Definitely giving up more runs than he has all season. He does get out of his third pretty easily. His 2 people on bases loaded. Matos gets a 1 run in, and that is all. 4-1 lead now. 2 strikeouts. And that's it for us. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts, gets him out. Gets a single. Yeah, ain't looking too pretty for us. Solo shot by Matos does get us on the board again with a 4-2 lead now with deficit. It's time to get Mason Black out of there. Let's see what Crawford can do. Next lefty. Give him a walk and does get us out of there. Just not getting the base, not getting the hits, man. Not getting on, not getting the bases. Crawford gets us out of the 8th. And it's 4-2. Oh, wow. As our team continues a 3-game losing streak after being 11-4. AA team also loses in the last couple days. Logan Webb versus Zach Eflin. We get the W for 3. Trevor Rogers, we do have a cheap contract, like trying to see what he can do. We do get the W 3-2. Bader does have 2 weeks as we continue to look at our scouting. Scout 3. Looks like Diaz does look to be a top 5 prospect. Oops. Contact, solid power, good vision, excellent discipline, and great defense. Out of Cuba, looks to be a stud, asking for a lot of bonus. But what does have a top 5 pick? Definitely could see us getting him, but we never know. Don't know about this Madrid guy, but we'll continue to take a look at him. See what we can do about them and continue to scout more pitching, more third base, as we kind of have a lot of needs filled for the next future. Our outfield is pretty secure with Arias building and Ramos and Matos, and us having Bader signed for a few years. Same thing with Rayner. No real reason to rush to get that fielder if we don't see one available. But we do need to build up the pitching staff after We need to build off of Arias and Webb, so the third, fourth, and fifth starters. And then the next thing is the corners with the first and third base once Chapman leaves at third. Because we really don't have anything there. Because Curtis Mead really isn't playing too well, neither is Sherman Apostle. So we need a solid third baseman and a catcher because we have no improvement yet. Bart's doing solid in the majors, but Sanchez is not going to be, his rating forever. He's going to regress, and he's not even that great. And Bart's just okay with his potential dropping down to a C. So we need Patrick Bailey to develop. Otherwise, it's time to look elsewhere. We're going to do, we'll put on third. No, probably center field. Yeah, because we don't have that kind of center fielder. The right field, we want to see if Alton Baker can develop. In left field, we have Arias and Ramos. We have Matos in center field, but he's not playing too well. So let's see if we can find somebody else in center field. Let's go and finish up this week. Let's finish out the most solid against Arizona. Lose, we do win the series. Everybody gets a day off. Here's versus Sheffield. We do get the 9-5 win. And then somehow batting lead off. Chapman hits a homer, 4 RBIs, Rayner a grand slam. Harrison pitches solid, 5 innings, does give a 4-run run as well. Let me check out the lineup. I don't know why they do some weird stuff in this game. They don't follow your lineup like they're supposed to sometimes. Luciano is starting to heat back up. Chapman's cooling off, and so is McCray. Flores is thriving in the pitch hitting role, and so is Arcia being our everyday backup. Yeah, play pretty much everything. Yeah, he can't play every position except center field. Arias, after his opening day, after his second day start on the second day of the game, well, second game of the season, he's pretty much cooled off. Pitched double hitter versus Manners. We win both games, getting us a 16-15. As we're starting to hit food control, we're starting to win some games. Even though our AA team started to get back on their winning ways, and our AAA team still losing with the loss of Ramos seemingly heavier than we thought they would. Webb is going up against Rangers Suarez as they're both pitching pretty similarly. And we do get the loss 3-5. Chapman gets a double. Webb gets a 4 runs, only 4 strikeouts. Webb is really struggling this year. Can't really much else to say. Him and Trevor Rogers are really the reason why we're not excelling at the team so far. I mean, he is going up against Teron Walker. We get another loss on that game. So it's 16-17 for us. Madrid is not who you thought he was, as he's quickly dropping down in the ranks as his offense is there, but his defense isn't. So it could be a possible second round pick that we might look towards. We do have a picture we can definitely look at right here. We definitely need to look at some relief pitching as well. So we'll take a look at that and look at what we rank as a second prospect, what they rank as a second ranked prospect. Might be gone by our 5th pick, but if they don't pick him, definitely want to have him scouted to know what his potential could be. Definitely don't want to miss out on no generational talent. Relief as is, because we need to focus on that. We'll probably move this to catcher because catcher is starting to get as a pretty prevalent need as Sanchez is older and Bailey isn't developing as we want to, as I mentioned earlier. Because you need a solid catcher, Sanchez doing the job defensively, but if we can get a little more offense out of that position, it would really help as well. With Jimenez so far not panning out, hitting barely over 200, I believe. I'm going to continue on here with Cinco de Mayo versus finishing off the Phillies. 5-10 loss as we get swept out of that series. Strider versus Harrison, who Strider also having a pretty off year. We do win 5-2, Harrison having a good outing. Surprising to see Strider not really having his stuff like that. He is able to hit 4 more and get 3 RBIs, and the Craig gets a stolen base. 5 walks from unturned, 2 earned runs given up by Harrison. Why is Eloy? What is this? What is this? This is about Australia. It's actually hitting pretty solid. Is it his time? I think it might be. I'm gonna swap him out. See what Bart can do. This Sanchez is definitely really circling. See what the young boy can do. Little mobster. Definitely don't know why that was that way. Let's get that back to where it's supposed to be. That's more like it. Take it. As we continue, 2 of the best lefties in the game is Fareed and Arias going up against each other. 1-9. As that is ass whooping if I ever seen one. Mostly all of it given up in the 8th and 9th innings. As Jimenez and Rogers definitely let us down. Arias only giving up 2 runs. Just tough. But Webb versus Wright. As we do get Harrison Bader's first game back. And that's how we're going to end the episode, guys. It was good being on the camera, getting to show you live action. But we will be back with another one with Harrison Bader's first official game as a Giant. So as always, guys, it's your boy Don't Win Ever saying peace, love, blessings.